welcome back. So, yes, new shirt that I got from this festival. And I usually don't like to wear big t-shirts because it's a man's t-shirt and it makes me feel like a man. But I got it anyways because it was Lord Ganesha and I felt like I had to. And this Tara, this looks like, there's different forms of Tara. There's white Tara, and there is green Tara, white Tara, green Tara, red Tara, and I think there's a blue Tara. There's different colors of Tara, and it's just essentially the different manifestations of, I believe, Avalokiteshvara, which is an enlightened being that I've read this story a few times, and I don't know if it's Kuan Yin. I don't know if Avalokiteshvara and Kuan Yin are the same. I think they might be, but from what I was reading, Avalokiteshvara was born a man and transformed into a female to become an enlightened female Buddha. I need to reread the story because I'm going to tell you it completely wrong. But if you just look up Avalokiteshvara, then you'll know what I mean. But it's kind of the same. It's like Buddhist, Tibetan, female enlightened Buddha, essentially. So I love the Tara, and there is a few different songs to Tara. The red Tara is the first mantra that I learned, and it goes Tare Tam Soha, 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 Tare Tam Soha. My voice is a little bit raspy because I'm sick right now, but that's what's going on with that. I was supposed to go to work tonight, and I didn't go to work because I feel very sick, but not sick enough to do this nonsense podcast that nobody watches. So here we are, and here I am, here you are. If you are watching this, I know at least 3 people will, and if it's only 3 people, amazing. what's going on in my life these days? Well, I'm kind of sad and lonely. It's holiday season, and people are always with their families and with their friends, and I have neither one of those. I mean, I have a family and I have friends, they just don't live in the same state that I live in. And I don't want to go live where my family lives in Ohio because I absolutely dislike Ohio. It is not a fun place to be. It is quite boring and quite cold. And I don't see myself living there. I never liked it growing up. I didn't feel connected to Ohio. I always wanted to go somewhere else. I wanted to go to California originally. That's like, excuse me. That's where I really wanted to go. Los Angeles, but then I visited Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is by far one of the, God bless Los Angeles, but it's one of the worst cities I've ever been to in my life. It's just very fake, very shallow, and I don't want to be in that energy, and I'm really sensitive to energy of cities. I can feel energies of like collectives in cities. And I've been to Oregon, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles. I went to San Antonio. I drove through Houston. I lived in Fort Lauderdale. I went to Miami a little bit. Where else? Denver, Colorado. Chicago. I lived in Chicago. And I don't really feel connected to any of these places. I would say of all the places in the United States I feel connected to, weirdly, San Francisco. There's something about San Francisco I really like. I just can't afford it because it's so expensive. And I don't really like being poor and working hard. I don't enjoy working nonstop. It's very exhausting and not necessary. Working all the time, I think, is this nonsense that the Matrix tries to get you to believe. And you don't have to do it. But if you live in a big city, you have to do it. And I just don't want to subject myself to the pressure of needing to work constantly just to pay my rent and just to survive and feed myself. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel right. And it's not that I don't want to work. It's just that I don't want to overwork myself to the point where I'm getting depressed and sick. And I used to do that all the time. And I worked a job in a government laboratory where I was doing vaccine testing on animals, and it was because that's what they do. They have to test on animals, and that was a really depressing job. It was really sad. And I went through like, oh man, the emotions are coming again. Oh baby, here we go. I might start crying again. I was the most depressed I think I've ever been in my life then, because I was working 3 jobs and I was just doing this like soul-sucking job, and everybody would say, oh, you have this good government job, and I was secretly down inside, I was like, I hate the government. I don't want to work for the government. But I was trying to be a part of the Matrix, and I was trying to seem like a good slave. And I was so sad, and I wasn't making that much money either. And I was just working with like dead animals and just the energy of a laboratory, a government laboratory. That energy sucks. I'm not saying people shouldn't do it, but people like me shouldn't do it. It's not good for my energy at all. And I was really, I would have suicidal thoughts all the time. So many, like to the point where I would literally look up on my phone, like, and this was a while ago, and I you know, I've struggled with suicidal thoughts for at least 10 years. I never acted on them though, because I was like, first off, too scared, and I don't know, I felt like things always get better. Even if they just get incrementally better, at least they get a little bit better, and there's still a chance at something like one day being better. And I used to do this, and like this really helped with my depression, and I'm going through that right now, actually. Going through a phase of like really bad depression. I'm just used to it. It happens a lot to me, so sometimes what helps me is when because I'm really connected to nature, and I really love nature, and it brings me so much peace. And so I'll go outside and I'll look at the sun and I'll say, you know, I'm really sad today, and I'm really alone, and I don't know what's going on in my life, and I don't have like any friends or anything, but at least I have the sun, and the sun shines down on me no matter what. And at least I have these plants, and I have food, and I have a home, and these plants, like, they nurture me and they love me, and when I go out to nature, I feel calm, and like everything is the way it should be. And I think a lot of my depression comes from the fact that I don't like living in the matrix. I don't enjoy it. I feel very separated from nature, and I just feel when I'm close to nature, I feel like everything is okay. Like I am where I belong. And when I come back to society, and you look on social media and you just see people all striving for something, and they're all they're all trying to get somewhere and be someone and achieve something, and I just don't feel like that's something I want. I don't feel like this desire for fame or for material goods or anything. I just don't feel that anymore. Like, honestly, it sounds so simple, but like what I want is just, I want to live in a forest and like, you know, have a man. Maybe I don't need a man, but it'd be nice to have one. They're nice to have around. They really are. And we get to cuddle, we get to, you know, go forage and find medicines in the forest, and have like an animal or a horse or something, and like be wild. I just want to be wild. I don't enjoy this lifestyle. I think that's what makes me really sad, is that like I don't even watch television. I don't listen to popular music. I don't pay attention to the news. All of that Matrix stuff just does not appeal to me. I have a hard time talking to people because I don't say this as one of those spiritual people that's like, the Matrix is evil. That's not what I'm saying. Because I mean, it's just this thing. It's like the thing that just, oh my God, I just can't stand it. It's like the constant advertisements and technology and consumerism and buy this, buy that. And you need to go to school. You need to have higher education. That's what's going to make you a valuable member of society, which is another thing. I truly, and this is I'm not sure how I feel about this because I do believe that there is a value in higher education, but I think so much of higher education is bullshit. Honestly. Because you just don't, I don't know how to say it. I think that they're sucking your life force out of you, and like they're telling you, well, I will give you this information. I will provide you the sacred texts, and the sacred texts can only be provided by Harvard University if you pay $400,000 a year or however much it costs to go to Harvard, and I will show you the sacred texts that no one else has access to. That's how I feel about higher education, especially those Ivy League schools. No. It doesn't get more matrixy than that. I think it's such a joke, man. Such a joke. It's all based on this. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. It's all based on this social status. Oh, I'm in an Ivy League school. I'm so intelligent. I just see through it. I just see through all the nonsense. Especially like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin with all of this. It's just nonsense. And like you're selling yourself to this system. I don't think it gets more matrixy than Ivy League. And I thought about this too. The heart of the matrix. Because America is like the country that like is like, if we're looking at the globe, if you want to go to the center of the matrix, you come to the United States of America. This is matrix center. And if you want to go to the heart of it, guess where the heart of the matrix is? New York City. Yep, you can feel it. I mean, just look at it and like see the type of people that are there and see like all the like, it's like a concrete jungle. You don't get any more matrixy than that. Like everything is constructed in concrete and it's so separated from nature. It's everybody's shoved in together and they're all, you know, dying to live there, and they want to live there and they pay this outrageous rent just to live in this city because everybody says it's the best place to live, and it's dirty and there's like no space, and I just don't get it. I don't get why people like want to live there. It makes no sense. But people get programmed into thinking, oh, this is cool. If I go move here, I'll be cool. And I'll go meet some cool people that are in the fashion industry, matrix, that are in the music industry, matrix, Hollywood, matrix. Like, it's second is Los Angeles, and I am good on the matrix cities. even the United States, I would prefer to move to another country. If I could move anywhere in the world, that's what I'm trying to do right now, is pay off my debts, because I got sold into the school thing, and I should have never gotten sold into the school thing. It was, if I could go back and change one thing about my life, I mean, I wouldn't change it, obviously, but if a genie were to say, what would you change about your life? If you could go back and you change one thing, you get one thing, what would you change? And would I change all of the guys that I ended up getting with? I would think about it. Probably not, though, because those were mistakes, sure, but we can recover pretty easily from those mistakes. I would go back and I would not go to school. I would not go to college, because I spent so much money going to college, so much energy, and I got nothing out of it. Nothing. The only thing I got out of it was people in that system saying, you need to go to grad school. And, like, for what? So I can spend more money I don't have, just so I can get out of this having a job that I probably don't want, just so people can be like, oh, you're smart. Yeah, I could go to grad school really easily. It's not that hard. You just gotta pass some tests. That's how I got my bachelor's degree. I was like, okay, I gotta pass some tests. We just study and we pass them. That's it. Like, that's the only thing you need to do, is just pass some tests. There are no other requirements. It's like, okay, are you going to pay for this? And can you pass these tests? Bam, there you go, you're in. What is appealing about that? You don't even have to be smart to pass tests. Like, I don't personally feel like I'm that intelligent of a person. I'm just a hard worker, and so I could pass tests in college. I could learn stuff and be like, okay, well, they're going to say this in the test, and so I know this is the answer. There's a college degree is without a doubt not impressive to me. It's not impressive. And nobody's really impressed anymore by your college degree. They just don't care. They're like, oh, you have a bachelor's? Okay, sure. Everybody has a bachelor's degree. So yeah, I would go back and I would not go to school. I think it's much wiser to just do a craft, start a trade, stuff like that. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have developed my skills more and just followed what I felt passionate about. But, I grew up with nobody supporting me and saying like, oh, Emily, you're such a good singer. Maybe you should do something with that. And that's the Matrix. I really don't want to live in this Matrix. Even like the music, I hate the music. The popular music that plays, Matrix, it's total consumerist, like, crap. It's just not, there's like no talent in it. There's no creativity, there's no soul, there's no, you have these singers, they're good singers, but the music that they're playing, it's like, it's not interesting, it's not creative, it's not authentic, it's not original, it's just meant to be consumed. Like, I don't feel anything from this stuff. And this is my issue with talking to like people that are so deeply embedded in the Matrix, is like they're just so programmed by the music and the news and all this stuff, like they're just a walking program. And that's not to say that they're a stupid person or a bad person. They're just allowing themselves to be programmed by things outside of themselves instead of thinking for themselves. And so when I talk to a lot of people, I feel like I'm just talking to a program, a robot. Everyone says the same things. They're like, oh, that's fire. Why does everybody say that? That doesn't make any sense. You guys are all just like, you don't have any original things that you say. It's just you guys repeating what everybody else says. Like, there's no authenticity. Nobody's original. And I'm just like, is there someone here? Am I talking to an individual, or am I talking to just like a clone of what they want you to say and think? Yeah. So honestly, a lot of my depression is because I do not enjoy living in this matrix. I don't enjoy paying taxes and feeling like I have to work to be alive. I would rather just live in nature and make my own stuff and something like that, and have a nice little life and a man to kiss me at night. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not there yet because I still have resistance towards men because they make me angry, which is something I need to work on, I know. That's my roommate's dog. This is my little place I live in Florida. I'm a nomad still. I thought about getting a lease, but every time I get a lease, this dog is like, every time I get a lease, I feel like I'm attached to a place. And I don't like being attached to places because sometimes I just get up and I want to leave. And the other day I was like, Florida's cool and everything, but I kind of want to get out of here. And then I thought, well, where am I going to go? And I have a friend that lives in Atlanta, and I was thinking of going to Atlanta and moving there. But it's cold. It's cold up there. And I get cold really easily. I'm a little baby. I don't think I want to go to Atlanta. There's just really nowhere in the United States that I want to go. Yeah, I don't think I want to go anywhere else. I don't know. I really like Mexico. I want to travel more in Mexico. I want to go to Chiapas. I usually spend a lot of time in the Yucatan Peninsula. And there was one time, here's a funny story. When I lived in Tucson, I drove, because everybody would say, go to Rocky Point, Mexico. It's only 4.5 hours away. You can drive across the border and be there in a day. So I did that with my ex-partner. I don't know if that's a confusing situation, but we'll call him my ex. And he's Canadian. He's not American. And so we drove down to Rocky Point, and it was really freaking us out. It was just, the energy was weird, really weird. And I just remember being like, I don't want to be here. I gotta go home. I want to go back to Tucson. And so that day we ended up leaving. Or no, it was the next day we ended up leaving. And I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I don't know why, but we had ayahuasca in the car, and we just did. We just did. I don't need to explain it, but we did. And I was going to cross the border, and so we go up to the place where the security, like the border control is, and they were really strict with us, and they saw my ID and they were like, she can go, but you're Canadian, you're not allowed to my ex, you can't come because you're Canadian and you have to fly in if you want to come to the United States. And we were fighting with him, and I was like, we were here like a few hours ago, why can't I just go home? I live in Tucson. He came with me. The guys on the other side were okay with it. And then I started getting really freaked out. So we like pulled out, and I was talking to him, and I was like, they're not gonna let you in. I don't know what to do. And I have medicine in the car, and I feel really like scared. I don't think that I should have this with me. And so he took it with him, and he ended up getting like a bus to Nogales, I think. I don't know if he made it to Nogales, but he said he was gonna find a way to get a flight in or something, and he ended up not even coming. He just ended up traveling down the coast, which is really interesting. I don't think this guy really loved me. He didn't even come back and stay with me. He just ended up like traveling and left me and was like, I don't care about her anymore. Why do you guys do this to me? Why do I let these guys in my life? This is what I've been sad about too. I was thinking about like this guy I was seeing for a few years, like 3 years. And I wouldn't consider us even together because he lives in Canada, and like it just wasn't. We were together sometimes when we would travel, and he would call me his partner, never his girlfriend, his partner. And I was just like, why am I, like, does this make any sense? Why am I with this guy? And he doesn't seem like he like really wants to be with me. Oh my God. I don't think I want to get into this right now. It's going to make me start crying too. Because I'm just so stupid. I've made so many stupid decisions. And like, I thought that was a good decision. Let me be with this guy that literally doesn't care about me at all. He just leaves me and doesn't care. And barely, like, oh my goodness, this has to come from like a broken place, right? Where just you end up with these people and oh my God, this is too much. I don't want to make this a sob story. I don't want to get into this. I just wanted to do a podcast tonight. I didn't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, that was my Rocky Point story. And he ended up leaving and traveling down the Pacific coast of Mexico. I went back to Arizona, and I was like, I'm quitting this job. I hate this job. I don't want to live here anymore. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. My lease. I had a lease, and I was like, I'm quitting this job. I hate working this job, and I don't want to do it anymore, and I don't want to live here anymore. I'm just leaving, and I'm telling my landlord I'm leaving like at the end of the week. I don't care how much it costs. I'm getting out of this place. And I did. I left everything in that apartment. I bought so many things, and I just left it to him, and I said, it's all yours. I don't want anything. I just want to leave. And then got in my car, and he actually came back and drove me to Florida, and that's how I got to Florida, because this guy was like, you should go to Florida, let's go check Florida out. And then we did that, and now I'm in Florida, and so far it's pretty cool, actually. Of all the states that I've been to, Florida's really chill. That's what I like about it. It's like good weather all the time, sunshine all the time. The weather's amazing now, beautiful tropical plants. I can't complain about that. I don't know if I'm gonna like keep doing this that much longer. I just haven't done this in a while, and I kind of wanted to do one and just do one. See if anybody watches it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this. I probably will, just because I always start things and quit things. So I'm just gonna do it, and we're gonna chat. And I'll do another one when I'm in a better mood and not super sick or tired. So pretty tired. Yeah, it's only been about 30 minutes, but I think the whole point of this podcast was for me to get on here and talk about how much I hate the Matrix. And it makes me sad. And I would really like to just go out to nature and just be wild. Be a wild woman, ride a horse, have a bow and arrow, hunt some fowl. Read people's fortune. Why not? Boil something in a cauldron. I could see myself doing that. I was waiting for the next topic to come. I don't think it's coming. Okay, so this is my podcast, and this is my experience of living in the Matrix, and why I hate living in the Matrix. And I really would like us all to just stop doing all of this Matrix stuff and start thinking for ourselves and feeding off of nature and eating plants all day. You know what? I also thought, why can't I just be tripping all the time? I mean, I think it's good to be sober. I think you should be sober a lot. It's very healthy. But what if I wanted to just trip all the time and be like, you know, in a psychedelic frenzy? Why not? If that's what I want to do, that's what I want to do. I don't want to hold down a 9-to-5 job. I just want to be in nature and be like, the plants, they're speaking to me. And be like, honestly, this is how I feel inside. If I could do anything in the world, anything, I could be anybody. I could have any career I wanted. I would not choose being a famous singer. I would not choose being a famous actor or famous anything, a politician, nothing. I would want to be the Oracle, like the Oracle of Delphi, and just be this like mystical woman that is like, let me teach you the secrets of the universe. people come to me and they say, "Oh, Oracle, what does the divine have in store for me today?" And I would wear this long robe and my hair would be like, and I would say, "Yes, my child, you have come to the right place. The divine says that you will birth 2 children and you will prosper in your efforts of being a coal maker," or whatever it is. And I would have this like, I just want to be an oracle. That's what I want to be. I'm serious. If I could have anything, if I could do anything, I just want to be an oracle and just like have this open crown chakra and just have this like spiritual wisdom pouring into my brain. And I'm just like, yes, what is it that you seek? What information do you seek? How may I assist you, my child? And speak with that voice too. And have like and live in a temple. Oh my goodness, I want to live in a temple on a mountaintop, surrounded by nature, and people, they walk up this mountaintop to come see me, and I'm up there like smoking something, and there's smoke everywhere, and I'm like, I open the door and I'm like, yes, I am the oracle. That's all I want. That is the life I want, I promise you. I just want to be this like mystical woman in a forest, and people leave me alone mostly, but then they come to me for assistance and help, and I help them. So that's my dream. That is my dream. I hope it happens. I made that song up in the jungle. It's not very complex, but I sat by the Bovinsana tree and I started just humming. And then I started singing, Bovinsana medico, Bovinsana medico, Juya Chaki, Wadagaspi, Mokapadi medico, Kanacheri, Juya Chaki, Wadagaspi medico. I just kind of say different plants. But I think it's a good song. Bovinsana, Bovinsana, Bovinsana medico, Bovinsana, Bovinsana, Bovinsana medico, Bovinsana, Bovinsana medico. flores y aromas perfuman los corazones. Robinson, Robinson Amerigo. That's my song. That is my song. It is partially Serenita Bobinsana, so part of it is not my song. But the first part is, and now I'm gonna finish this podcast because I don't know what else to say. But if I had something to say, I would say it. Instead, I am throwing these cards that are supposed to teach me Spanish. And I sometimes look at them, but most of the time I don't. Okay, now this camera's blurry, so I think that's it. I think that's all we got for today, so there we go, it's back again.